Hello guys, it's YuGiOh here, back at it again with another video, and this time we have another things to remember, and let's go ahead and hop right in. So the first one is you can either use the field spell or kit effect to go ahead and out your own Kaleido Heart, which allows you to do multiple things. You can fusion summon off of that, or you can dump Salic to add Hephaestus to play through stuff like Evenly Dark Ruler. On to the next one, we have if they go ahead and use an effect to put back one of your tier elements while you have the field spell up, its effect does trigger, so you can use it to pop. On to the next one, we have Kikalos versus something like a DPE or a Smashers. It will still special summon out, as it special summons out and then sends. So it'll still summon in that scenario. And then the next one is we have Garua. This card does double damage, so that can really come up. It's 3,000 with the field spell, it's 4,000. Next, we have Salic and Mayonnaise. A card like Droplet can dodge both of these. It's worded just like Imperm, how it has to do the first thing, then do the next thing. It's like Imperm where if you dodge it, the column is not negated. On to the next one, we have Dragos to Palia versus Elf. So if you go ahead and Dragos to Palia Elf, then the monsters under it still cannot be targeted, as this does not negate its effects. It negates its activated effects, and the stuff that makes it underneath it that they cannot be targeted, that does not activate. On to the next one, we have Time Thief Redoer versus Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. So even if Redoer does not have a spell under it, you can still Ash Blossom it, because it has the effect to draw one, and when they activate it, they could end up doing something to put a spell under it. So you can Ash this even if it doesn't have a spell under it. That's pretty big. Now, tier element ones are over. On to the next one. We have Swap Frog. It can bounce back a monster and you get an extra normal summon out of it for Dupe Frog specifically. You can't bring out Rodentone, you can't bring out Swap Frog off of this. It has to be Dupe Frog specifically. Or I guess any other frog, but pretty much this. And then on to the next one. Remember that Gigantic and Starter both lock you into 2s. You cannot Zeus. You can't access code afterwards. Also, Gigantic, even if it gets hit with something like a Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit on its effect, it will still lock you, as even though it does say detach and end if you do, so a lot of people think the effect would end there. It also has that's A, B, and then also is the C. So you will still be locked as long as this card does not get negated. Like Ogre or Nib, you will still lock. On to the next one, we have Bell versus Totally Awesome. So if I go normal summon diameter, effect, target blank math mech in graveyard, they go, I'll chain Toad. You can chain Bell on that, because this can set that. So you can go ahead and Bell that. On to the next one, we have Super Factorial. This card can target 3 in the graveyard, but it has to be 3 with different names. So this doesn't come up very often, but it is something that can come up. And then we're going to go ahead and hop onto the next one. We have Super Factorial, and honestly, this is more just where you hold DD Crow in this matchup. A lot of people, if you go circular dump Sigma effect, they chain DD Crow on Sigma. That is very dumb. That is very, very dumb. There's literally no point of doing that. You get punished by any other math mech in their entire deck. You hold DD Crow for your turn when they activate Super Factorial, and then you chain DD Crow on Diameter. This makes it so that way the XYZ they summon off of this does nothing. It searches follow-up, but it has no negate, no interruption off of it. So DD Crow trades very well in that scenario. And then on to the next one. This is Math Mech Albert. If you use 3, you can go ahead and search for any level 4. This allows you to grab something like a Skullmeister, which can come up a lot in the tier element matchup, where you can have a negate plus a Meister, instead of going for like a Send card and then have a negate, just because the Send against tier element isn't always the best. Also, this is a good bridge for Small World. On to the next one. Underworld Goddess. This takes 4 effect monsters. 4 effect monsters. A lot of people will only end up using 3. They'll use Cybers Wicked, IP, and one of your monsters. Do not get cheated by this. Make sure that they are using 4 effect monsters. And on to the very last one, we have the amazing Punk Dragon. This card has the effect to bounce on summon, but it also has the effect to special summon back out a Punk from graveyard. Remember that they can only use one effect of this per turn. This is a huge difference. There's, like, if you could use both effects, you could easily OTK, but if you can't summon back, that can make it way tougher. But that is going to be it for this Things to Remember. I wanted to keep it small since it's right before Euros. I don't want to give you too much information since it's kind of hard to remember everything. But with all that being said, the DB Grinder signing off. Peace. Have a nice day. Stay safe.